Step right up to Flotsam's Wonder World!
I was contacted by Juxtapoz Magazine several months ago. They were in turn contacted by Outside Lands and asked if they would put together a small group of artists for the festival this year, and they contacted me about doing an installation. I'd been to the festival before, but I don't have the layout of it memorized, but they said you're going to be in a forest that is between the two large stage areas, and it sounded interesting. I was picturing maybe a little more secluded. As it turns out, we are right on the runway that all 150,000 people have to go down to go from one stage to the other, so our location couldn't be more ideal. It's a nice setting, big crowd. People seem to be in a really good mood here. The difference between Outside Lands and doing it at SF MoMA or a gallery setting is much, much bigger crowd. Although at a festival like this, they don't necessarily come here to see art. It's really rewarding when you get 30, 40 people shoved into a truck or waiting in line to go to a truck who didn't expect to look at art that day. That's extra rewarding to me. Whereas at a gallery or a museum, people go there to look at art. The thing that gets me excited about art is when I can draw non-artists into it, people who maybe aren't art collectors or art enthusiasts, but maybe you can tap that inside them. Maybe they discover that, wow, they do like art. And I have a sketchbook in the trailer that people have been drawing in like crazy, and that's super rewarding to me too. So, I mean, they can stand back and look at the art from the outside. They can step into the trailer and look at kind of Flotsam's world. They can pick up stuff. They can look at the art, touch the art. They can spin the wheel, pick up the bottles. Everything's loose in there. Everything's, touchable. So they can go in the truck, kind of experience the environment. Then they can come outside and they can actually play games for prizes. So, they get involved in actually interacting with the art. And then twice a day, we've been doing an opera that I worked on with Jonah Hopton, who's an opera singer at the San Francisco Conservatory. And he brought in a lot of his schoolmates who are, classically trained musicians. So it's been a pretty tight opera. It's about 25 minutes long, and we've been getting pretty good crowds.
So here at the Outside Land show, I got together with Anthony. We pieced together this opera. I sat down, wrote a libretto, and then from there, I met with my friend Morgan and asked him if he could play viola because I wanted to incorporate more of some strings so that it kept people more excited and on the edge of their seat rather than just a piano and someone singing. Well, now we've got a bigger dynamic with strings, and it almost feels like an orchestra. I wanted to make it more of a piece to invite people in. At a place like Outside Lands, the music is incredible, yet you have walls of $1 million speakers over, several $1 million where the sound just comes at you. And there's, I think, over 150,000 people here over the weekend, so it's easy for someone to get lost. Our piece is a small stage where people can really come in, sit down, and be invited into a story. I wanted to connect with the Faustian story in a way that it brings people into the love story. People are much more invited into a love story rather than a story of someone without a soul and the devil coming and taking them away.
And so it's fun while we're sitting down playing games and people are lining up to look at the art. We've got an accordion player, we've got a violin player, we got some singers, and they'll do improv. So it's fun just to kind of keep the music going on and off throughout the day, especially at night. We've been getting some of our biggest crowds just for the informal jamming at night. The other unexpected bonus here, besides the fact that the setting is so cool, is what surrounds us. An artist friend of mine named Monica put these parachutes and these sewing things she sewed in the trees, and it's kind of gypsy carnivalesque, and it's a nice setting to be next to this. And then on the other side of us is Choco Lands, which I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's kind of like like a chocolate playground for adults on acid or something like that. But it seems like they play off each other really well. So it's a nice setting, not just with the trees, but also with what the other artwork is.
So the small stage in a huge rock festival, one of the biggest in the nation, where, well, maybe not everyone came to see us, but when they did, they had a personal, intimate experience. And that's really, in my feeling, what art's about. It's about inviting people in rather than coming at them with so much stuff in the outside so that they're brought outside of themselves, but letting them go inside their own self to experience the journey of a story, the journey of the love story.